Alright, evening everyone. This is Jeremy Crow coming back at you. Doing another book review for you tonight. And before we jump into that, as always, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you like the content, please hit that like button and subscribe button down below. Let me know how I'm doing. Drop some comments down in the comment section there. And if you have suggestions, let me know about that. Positive and negative reviews help me out definitely. That lets me know if I need to provide other information to my channel or not. And if you're already a subscriber, I do appreciate that as much as well. So around here, today we had a little bit of snow. It's getting cold out there, and winter is definitely right around the corner. I did head out and purchase some materials for my upcoming voodoo doll video segments that I'll be doing probably later on this week, or at least start doing them later on this week. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Also, I will be starting a new job this week, so that's probably going to take up a little bit of my time, but I'm going to try to definitely keep getting videos put out for you folks as much as I possibly can. Alright, so without further ado, we're just going to jump into that review. And today's book is Angels of Wrath, Wield, the Magic of Darkness with the Powers of Light by Gordon Winterfield. Gordon Winterfield is, again, one of the authors with the Gallery of Magick. I've did a comparison with some of his works, one of those being the Demons of Magick, and so one of my earlier videos, or two of my earlier videos I should say. This particular book was published back in 2017. It does contain 112 pages and over 29 rituals or powers that the practitioner can utilize and perform over a set of 5 distinct categories, or 5 angelic categories actually. Okay, and those angelic categories include the angels of the first heaven, the angels of the second heaven, the angels of strength, the angels of union, and the angels of reason. Now, I just want to go ahead and point out that a lot of people, or some people, would probably say that this is definitely a book that is more right-hand path in nature. However, if you are a left-handed path practitioner, I'm going to tell you that out of this book, you can definitely use a great majority of the rituals in this book, because you are simply only calling on angels and not any other real defined name or power. However, that doesn't include the angels of union, which only has 2 rituals in it to begin with, and that is 1 to end a dispute, or 2 to punish an enemy. And those 2 particular rituals, you are calling on a divine name at that point, and along with angels to make the ritual effective. Other than that, all the other rituals are pretty much fair game. Again, they just call on 1 or 2 angels to be used, and that's really about it. However, if you're one of those people that says, hey, I'm concerned about karma, being affected by karma, or hey, it's a bad idea to use angels and angelic powers to do evil and bad things, let me tell you folks that this book is probably not for you. Don't go ahead and pick it up. But if none of that really bothers you, then by all means, I suggest you pick it up, use it, utilize it. It's going to do some good. Believe me, it's going to do some good. I've used quite a few rituals from this book in the past years, so not recently, but I can tell you that the rituals in this book are effective. Okay. If your intention is to cause your enemy harm, to bind them, destroy their defenses, remove their wealth, ruin an enemy's business, or even render your enemy too weak and feeble to move against you or to take action against you, then these angels are definitely able to comply and will assist you. You will also be able to silence your enemies, cause confusion, create situations such as insomnia in your enemies, and a number of other desired effects. Okay, the material that is presented in this book does come from the Brit Manuka, which is a occult book that contains a powerhouse of magical effects and rituals within it. And actually, this particular book has actually been used to form a great many of the other books within the Gallery of Magic series. And specifically, the Brit Manuka is a work of Kabbalah, is a Kabbalistic work written in the 14th century by the Rabbi Abraham ben Isaac of Granada, which consists of a system of theurgy using secret names of God and its emanations for spiritual and magical purposes. And it's also worth noting that back in 2007, there was an English translation of this material that was published onto the market. Okay. To the 5 categories of angels that you can use to assist you. The first one, the angels of the first heaven. You will find rituals to destroy your enemy's defenses, bind them, cause them grief, and a bit more in there. The angels of second heaven work to silence your enemies, confuse and disrupt, and create insomnia in your enemies. Angels of strength can be used to destroy your enemies with wrath, and wound them with fury, or bring judgment against them. However, if you're concerned with the idea of judging your enemies, understand that when you use that particular power against your enemies, it's not you that's judging them, it's the angelic powers that are judging them. You are merely asking the angel to bring you peace through this judgment that that they deliver against them. Again, as I stated before, the angels of union. Just 2 rituals in that particular group. It ends disputes between 2 people. Can even end disputes with it between you and your enemy. And finally, the angels of reason do cause things like anxiety, cause hatred between people, memory loss, and a bit more. Now, as with any of the other book reviews I've done, folks, again, I've used the material extensively. Again, as I said, not in any recent times, but I just don't pick up these books and say, hey, I'm going to do a review on something. I make sure that I've used the material first before I make a recommendation on it. Gordon Winterfield does introduce a practitioner to a meditation in the book. It's called the stillness. It's basically a meditative or a mind clearing process that he describes to the reader how to perform in the book. I suggest you go ahead, if you pick the book up, read it, and try to practice stillness. It doesn't take that long to work it out. But if you don't want to, I mean, there's no one saying that you have to use the stillness. But if you have your own mind clearing technique, I mean, by all means, I'm sure that you could go ahead and use that, and it should just be as effective, okay? But the rituals in this book, again, as with most from the Gallery of Magic, they don't take a lot of time or effort to do, 10 or 15 minutes, and in the case of the rituals in this book, you only need to perform them 1 time, and that's it. So basically, the process of going through the rituals are pretty simple. First, you perform your mind clearing process or the stillness. And then the next thing you would do is gaze at the sigil and contemplate the desired result. While you do this, you need to allow your emotions to rise within you. and think about what that person has done, the problems that they've created for you. And you want to bring this frustration to the forefront of your mind, and you want to be reminded of that. Okay. And I'll just kind of show you like one of the sigils that we're talking about here. Okay, like for instance, here's one. This one is for forcing exile in your enemy. The particular angel that oversees this one is Tiagra. Okay, but there is a secondary angel which is Pariel that works alongside that particular angel. And for those that are not familiar with Tiagra, he is an angel that is associated with anger and combat, war, death, and revenge. And that's one of the reasons why he oversees the works in the angels of the first heaven. So basically, you would just end up. Let's get back to that particular one. In this case, you would start by, in this section here, going from, again, this is in Hebrew, and it will normally be read this way, but you don't have to turn these sigils. Just start here at the top and work down here, and then you would go around the first circle, again, counterclockwise, and then the second, and then followed by the third, and then you would read this name here in the center, again, right to left, and then mention the angelic names here at the bottom. And some of these, you just have to read the name one time. Some will say, read them 3 times. The process is very, very simple. You don't have to go through a whole lot. But when you shift your emotions and you scan the sigil, you need to know, be aware that the angel is present and that they are there to assist you. And then when the scanning is completed, you simply speak your command to the angel directly, and that's pretty much it at that point. At that point, you seal and finish your ritual by speaking the angelic name listed beneath the sigils. At that time, you again make an emotional shift or your emotional alchemy again, and to one of gratitude, and that justice and relief are basically yours at that point, and you don't have to do anything else. I've seen rituals in this book happen with results happen within days, and some of them take a little bit longer. But again, the idea is you don't want to dwell on it, and by all means, some of the best results are those that just kind of slowly happen over time. Okay. But just don't assume that because you don't see something happen or you don't see your enemy's demise happening, before your eye, that the ritual didn't have any effect. Okay, a lot of people, they're really good at putting on a brave face, and they, try to walk things off, and they try to make it like nothing's bothering them. But again, just because you don't see that happening right away, don't think that the ritual hasn't worked. Okay. However, as I stated, you only need to perform a ritual one time out of this particular book to get the results that you want. But if you think something is manifested poorly for some reason, you can definitely do the ritual again, or you can do an entirely different ritual. But this does come with a word of warning that some people, they will know that they'll get the feeling or sensation that they're being attacked somehow, and they can become aggressive and take an aggressive stance, if not towards you, towards other people. So, as with any type of cursing or hexing or attack, once you've done it, you don't want to be around that person. That person's basically a ticking time bomb at that point. You just don't know when they're going to go off. Okay. In short, the rituals do work in accordance with the intensity and the quality of the justice that you seek. This varies on you individually, and varies from person to person. But know that the magic does have and cause as much harm to your enemy as you feel is justified. Okay, so other than that, folks, I'm going to kind of cut this a little bit short tonight. Uh, I've been feeling like a little bit of cold coming on, so I don't want to kind of overdo it really. But this does conclude the review for Angels of Wrath by Gordon Winterfield. If you are interested in purchasing this book, it is available through Amazon.com. They also do have the digital download and the e-Kindle version of this available at Amazon.com. If you're interested in any other books by Gordon Winterfield or the Gallery Magick, again, head over there and go ahead and do a search on that. There is going to be a description, or I'm sorry, a link to Amazon.com in the description below, along with a link to Gallery Magick if you want to check out their site for any upcoming books or any of their blogging information. That would be a good place to go ahead and check that out. So until next time, folks, this is Dream and Kuro wishing you all a very fond farewell. Stay warm out there during this winter season, and infernal blessings. Take care. Bye.